On this day, March 13, 1964, Kitty Genovese was murdered in New York City, prompting research into the bystander effect due to the false story that neighbors witnessed the killing and did nothing to help her. In the early hours of March 13, 1964, Kitty Genovese, a 28-year-old bartender, was raped and stabbed outside the apartment building where she lived in the Kew Gardens neighborhood of Queens, New York, United States. 2 weeks after the murder, the New York Times published an article erroneously claiming that 37 witnesses saw or heard the attack, and that none of them called the police or came to her aid. The incident prompted inquiries into what became known as the bystander effect, or Genovese syndrome, and the murder became a staple of U.S. psychology textbooks for the next 4 decades. Researchers have since uncovered major inaccuracies in the Times article, and police interviews revealed that some witnesses had attempted to contact authorities. In 1964, reporters at a competing news organization discovered that the Times article was inconsistent with the facts, but they were unwilling at the time to challenge Times editor Abe Rosenthal. In 2007, an article in the American Psychologist found no evidence for the presence of 38 witnesses, or that witnesses observed the murder, or that witnesses remained inactive. In 2016, the Times called its own reporting flawed, stating that the original story grossly exaggerated the number of witnesses and what they had perceived. Winston Moseley, a 29-year-old Manhattan native, was arrested during a house burglary 6 days after the murder. While in custody, he confessed to killing Genovese. At his trial, Moseley was found guilty of murder and sentenced to death. His sentence was later commuted to life imprisonment. Moseley died in prison on March 28, 2016, at the age of 81, having served 52 years. Wikipedia on this day, March 13, 1964. Licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike 4 International License. Links are in the description.